Welcome back to the Saloon presented by Cisco. I'm your 49ers team reporter, Briana Jeannel, coming to you after a Week 2 win against the Saints. In today's episode, I sit down with a member of our 49ers radio crew, Carlos Ramirez, to recap everything that happened in New Orleans. Plus, you'll get to hear from players like Thomas Morstead and Mykel Williams. Joining me in the Saloon today is a member of our 49ers radio team, Carlos Ramirez. Carlos, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Briana. How's it going?
It's going good. You know, we got a win, so the week always feels so much better after a win.
Way better.
Now, Carlos, this was your first game as a part of the 49ers radio crew, filling in for Greg Papa. Yeah. You did such an awesome job. Tell me about what Sunday was like for you.
First of all, thank you. It was a dream come true. It was weird, Briana, because I didn't want to be there due to the circumstances. What I mean by that is our friend Greg Papa is fighting cancer, and he's doing so much better now. That's what I mean. I mean, I loved being there. I was so happy and thankful to be there. I just wish it wasn't the case, because I think we all agree, we all want Greg to get healthy, be back on the booth. But now that it happened and that I was there, I'm 42 years old. I've been doing this since I was 19, and being from a different country, being born in a different country, but loving America and loving football and wanting to do this forever was really a seminal moment in my career, because I've always wanted to do this. I've done it in Spanish for years, and breaking walls and knocking down doors and walls for Hispanics, for minorities, and to be able to prove what we can do as a community, what I can do as a professional, really meant a lot. I was there for Super Bowl last February with the Chiefs and the Eagles, and to be there again and do this was really special, to learn from Mike Holder and Tim Ryan and to get a win. I was scared, because I was thinking, if the team loses, am I going to be tagged as the bad omen, as a bad luck charm for the 49ers?
Don't go down that train of thought.
I know, but fans think that way, and I'm a fan too, so I understand, hey, this guy comes over and we lose a game we should have won with no Brock Purdy, and we'll get into it for sure, but New Orleans, you were there. New Orleans is such a special city. The vibes, the fans, the faithful were in packs down there. The food is off the chain. Drinks are good too. But it was a really special Sunday to get the win, to get the broadcast done the way we did. I will never forget Sunday, September 14th, 2025, ever again.
I'm so happy to hear that. And again, our hearts are with Papa during this time. It's amazing to hear all the encouraging updates from him. Yeah. And Carlos, your representation absolutely matters. Let's dive into it a little bit more. Tell us what led up to you hearing the news that you'd be joining the 49ers radio crew, and let the faithful in on your background and who you are.
Well, thank you. I couldn't believe it. I mean, because I host pre and post game live on NBC Sports Bay Area. So this is my 4th season hosting the show. And my first thought was, well, how am I going to miss the show? Because if I'm in New Orleans, I mean, am I hosting it remote from New Orleans? So the first thing was, I was really humbled and thankful that so many people got together to suggest my name for the broadcast, and then to make it happen, because the Niners had to approve it. KNBR, the radio station, had to approve it, and NBC Sports Bay Area, my employer, had to approve it, because it meant me missing the show on Sunday. So all of those things had to come together for me to be there. And then my background is, like I said, I'm 42. I began in Venezuela, where I was born 23 years ago. I was a 19-year-old kid doing radio in Spanish. But I came to the States when I was a kid. I was 6 years old. I learned English, went back. My mom's an English teacher. My dad was raised in London, and I loved football from the day I saw it. I was a 6-year-old kid, Briana, overseeing the Colorado University training facility. Okay. I didn't know what football was. I was a 6-year-old kid who played soccer in Venezuela and baseball, but I had no idea there's this sport called football. So I see these giants. Imagine being 6, and you're seeing these 6'6", 300-pound college players with helmets on and their pads on, and they seem like superheroes to you.
Yeah.
So that was a very impactful image for a 6-year-old Carlos, right? And from that day on, I was hooked. I was a CU fan for life, still am. Go Buffs. I loved John Elway, my favorite player of all time. I was living in Denver at the time. So when I began in this path, I became a play-by-play in soccer, then baseball, then basketball. But what I really wanted to do was football. And I knew for that to happen, I had to come here. And my dream was always come to the States. I've been calling football games in Spanish. My gate to the NFL was opened by the 49ers when I got here in 2019 to the Bay. I became the color commentator for the Spanish broadcast for the 49ers. Then Telemundo hired me as the national play-by-play for Sunday Night Football. So you had Al Michaels and then Mike Tirico on Sundays. But if you tune into either Telemundo or Universo, I was there calling the same game in Spanish. I did the Super Bowl in 2021, the Bengals and the Rams down at SoFi. And then NBC Sports Bay Area called me up to cross over to English and do this. In the meantime, I'm calling games internationally for NFL Game Pass International, both in Spanish and English. But this is what I wanted to do, is just to get a job. I called the Panthers games. Don't get jealous. It was preseason games. And I wanted to do some forward scouting for the 49ers because it was Panthers, Browns, and Texans, the three teams I got to call. And the Niners play those three teams this season. So
you were taking notes.
I was scouting. I was doing some spying on those three teams and taking notes. So I did that this offseason too. And then when the call came, I was, first of all, humbled that, that a guy like me gets this chance. And then it was right into just studying, prepping for Sunday.
Well, what an awesome story. And also so full circle, how you got your in with the Niners and you're here now.
Yeah.
I absolutely love to hear it. Now, let's go back to Sunday.
Yeah.
What did you think of the faithful taking over New Orleans? We were there all weekend, so we got to see it just fully unravel.
What don't they take over?
Yeah.
I think a poll should be made, Briana, of who's the best fan base in sport, not just football. I think it's pretty clear football. It's the Niners. But overall, in American sports, who's got the best fan base? And how do we rate that? Is it by who travels the most? Who's more raucous? Who's more, loyal to their team, right? Maybe a team that's not that good might be more loyal because you got to stick with a bad team, right? Niners have been good for so long. But just seeing so many red, and it's not just how they take over, Briana, and you were there. It's the energy that emanates from them. And I've taken a couple of trips with the team. This was the first as a broadcaster. I was down in Mexico in 2022 for that Monday Night Football game against the Cardinals. And that was spectacular. Different country, different language, still how they traveled. I don't think there's anything like it, to be honest, in American sports. Any fan base that takes over a city with such class and such a human demeanor and so well regarded and so well behaved, it's really spectacular to cover the faithful and be with them down there. So the stadium was red, and I mean it was Levi's NOLA, right? Levi's Southeast, if you want to be geographically correct, but spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, what's really unique.
What do you think?
I absolutely loved it. I walked around New Orleans on that Saturday before the game, during the day, and I was just so amazed. I didn't even know that I was passing the Invasion. The 49ers do Invasion tour throughout the season, and one of the stops was in New Orleans. But it wasn't just located to a specific spot. I mean, they were all over the city. It was Bourbon Street.
Yeah, it was Bourbon Street, and the French Quarter was taken over by the faithful.
And what's so unique, too, about this fan base is, yes, they travel well. And I think it's really cool that our fans will be from the Bay and want to support our team on the road. But we have fans everywhere. Yeah. So there are native New Orleans folk who are huge Niner fans, and they represent it, and they wear it with such pride. And what's really cool is when you're walking down the street, you can hear the bang bang, and then you hear the Niner gang. It's just everywhere. It's such an awesome feeling knowing that you have family wherever you go.
It's funny, that's so well said, because I was thinking about this. Maybe the Cowboys have a similar footprint over the country because of what they did with Aikman and Emmett and those teams, and Jimmy Johnson and Michael Irvin, that team that won 3 Super Bowls. But what Joe Montana and Bill Walsh and Jerry Rice and Steve Young and Ronnie Lott, what that team and that generation of players accomplished was to plant a seed that was national, right? And we're talking about the 80s. So it's a West Coast team being so meaningful, and not just because they won. It's the way they went about it and who did it, right? You don't see Pats fans spread all over the country. Maybe in a couple of years you will. I don't know. I don't think so. Like, you don't see Patriots fans other than in Boston or Bostonians who migrated, right, and moved out west or wherever. But like you said, there's Niner fans, Briana, everywhere. Everywhere there's Niner fans, and it's amazing.
It's the culture. And if you were to ask any fan, you know, how did you become a Niners fan? They always talk about, you know, the Bill Walsh era, Joe Montana, Roger Craig, Dwight Clark. But the thing is, it's still going. You ask the new generation, it's George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. So it's so cool to see how the 49ers just create such big superstars in the NFL. And like you said, across all sports.
And I think it's got to do with the style, right? It's not just winning, it's how you win, right? I think that's the same effect with the Warriors. It's not just they won a lot, it's how they won, or the Bulls for that matter, right? I think the Bulls on the NBA side or spectrum have fans worldwide because it was Jordan, but because how they went about their business. Same with the Niners, even though they haven't won one in 3 decades plus. It's the way they go about their game. It's the way they approach the game of football. And now with Kyle being here for almost a decade, it's the same. You appreciate that winning is not just winning. There has to be an element of aesthetics and dominance and physicality attached to the way you play the game that is non-negotiable for 49er fans.
Yeah, it's the culture. The fans notice it, and then the players notice it also. So now let's go back to NOLA this Sunday. From your vantage point.
Can we go back to NOLA?
Well, we will mentally go back there and get back into week 2.
Yeah.
From your vantage point, what were some of the biggest takeaways from the Niners' performance against the Saints?
Well, I think the first one is obvious, and that's Mac Jones. I mean, not having Brock Purdy and have Mac Jones start his 50th career game the way he did with the weapons he had and didn't have. Because in an ideal world, Mac would have gone out there with George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk and Jawan Jennings fully healthy, which he kind of was, and Kyle Juszczyk not having a concussion midway through the game, and his complete array of weapons. So his transition from being back up to starter isn't that complicated. But he didn't have that. And he threw 3 touchdown passes, which ties a career best for him in a game. A team that is very much run heavy and run driven did not rush for a touchdown. So that was, the Saints wanted to stop the run, make it Mac Jones heavy, and have him beat them. And he beat them. That's what happened. The more the game advanced, the better he got. As the game progressed, he read it better. He got more confident. He made a mistake with the fumble. He overcame the mistake. He was surgical, Briana. That to me was number one. As you well know, football is a chain of events that need to happen for everything to come together. That's why it's the ultimate team game, right?
Exactly.
For Mac Jones to do that, the offensive line had to do its job. And they had a phenomenal game. Losing Ben Bartch early was tough. Connor Colby, to me, is a really good player. And I think the Niners found a jewel in that 7th round with Connor Colby. He allowed no pressures throughout the game. No pressures. Left side of the line in Seattle, the line as a whole allowed 23 pressures against the Seahawks. 17 of those were on the left side. 7 by Bartch, 10 by Trent. That is rare. This week, not a single pressure between Bartch, when he played, then Colby and Trent. So 80% of the passing or pass blocking chances were dominated by the offensive line against a D-line that a week earlier, Briana, sacked Kyler Murray 5 times.
Yeah.
So they're not a bunch of scrubs. It's a good defensive line, a competitive defensive line. That, to me, was the second one. And then Kyle Shanahan, I'm sticking with the offense. Kyle Shanahan proved why he is a football mastermind. You lose your fullback. That means no 21 personnel for the rest of the game. That means you're using 2 tight end sets without George Kittle being out there. Because if you run 12 personnel and George is inline blocking, or you want to line him up as a fullback, or you want to use him as a slot receiver and have Luke Farrell block for you, fine. But no George. Yeah. So it's Farrell and Tunges finding a way to make it work midway through the game when you lost your all-pro fullback. That's a tough proposition. So he figured it out. They adjusted. The players delivered. One of the best coached games by Shanahan and his 49er tenure, for sure. Then the defense. I mean, what do you say? Robert Saleh should be in contention 2 games in for coordinator of the year. He has been spectacular. The D-line, I think, is deeper and better than we thought. Tim Ryan expressed, and I think rightfully so, some concerns or at least doubts on not how good they were, but how quickly can they come together with so many moving parts from last season to this year, Briana.
Valid.
Right? Absolutely. You got Mykel Williams as a rookie, Alfred Collins a rookie, Bryce Huff coming in.
The linebacker core is all switched up.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and they've worked. I mean, look at the D-line. Look how the run game has been contained. Kamara went out for 100. Sure. Did he do that much damage? I mean, do we think about Kamara running all over the place? Not really.
Well, as the Niner fan, you think about how the defense closed the game. It's
right.
always how you finish it.
Right. And you mentioned a name that I think is huge on both games, and that's Dee Winters. Mm-hmm. This team lost Dre Greenlaw, big play Dre, and it was a significant loss. Last year was a disaster with Devondre Campbell. It didn't work, and the team sorely missed Dre Greenlaw. The light went on, to steal a phrase from Tim. The light has went on inside Dee Winters. He sees it. He's aggressive. He's fast. He's violent. He, I think, even plays the run better than Dre did. He can go side to side. He's good in coverage. I mean, I think we're seeing the Fred Greenlaw 2.0 with Fred and Winters, or Fred and D. We got to find a nickname for this. We need a nickname.
About to say that, because it was Law and Warner, like Law and Order. Yeah. Now, what are they to play on the video boards at Levi's when it's, Fred and Dee Winters?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a superhero fan. Someone on Twitter said something about the Winter Soldier. That character in the Marvel Universe.
I like it.
Maybe he's the Winter Soldier, and we got to find something for Fred, Captain America, something, because we're friends. There's something there. Yeah. We got to workshop this.
Yes, as the season progresses, we'll start narrowing down the list on what exactly.
But I think we need a nickname for Fred and D.
We'll have the fans drop everything in the comments.
Maybe the D fence with D Winters, something like, I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah, drop the comments. Suggest some nicknames for Fred and D.
Exactly. I mean, there was so much going on Sunday. I mean, like you said, Mac Jones in for Brock Purdy, Connor Colby stepping up, tight ends just everywhere. There was so much happening in the game. Now, in all 3 phases, also offense, defense, special teams. When you're looking back at that game and really digesting it, what was your favorite moment, and how did you capture that in your call?
Good question. There's so many. There's this momentum swinging moment in the game that is, I think, key. The Saints are driving down the field. It's a 19-14 game, and here comes both Jair Brown, who's had I want to say not rough, but an up-and-down training camp. He came in thinking he would start. That was his goal. That's not been the case. It's Jason Pinnock and Marquis Siegel starting at safety. But here comes Jair Brown, makes a huge tackle on Kamara, and here comes All-Pro Fred with the peanut punch, knocking it out and getting a fumble. That's the first turnover that offense had the entire season. So the call was tricky because the call on the field was third down. I mean, the ball down by contact, no fumble, right? But the second we saw it, and the more and more we saw the replay, it was evident that it was a fumble. So that's, for a play-by-play, tricky because you have to wait. Right? Yeah. You don't want to go and say fumble, and it's not a fumble. So you have to let it breathe, see what happens, let the play unfold, let the zebras, a.k.a. the refs, do their job, and then you can come on board and do your thing. So to me, that was the biggest moment of the game. The Saints had momentum on their sails, and now it flipped, and now it's all 49ers the entire game. The Jauan Jennings touchdown, I loved it because Jauan was hurt. He had little to no rapport with Mac Jones because he missed training camp with the calf injury. So to see on third down, third and Jauan do his thing, his longest touchdown of his career.
Yeah, go for 42 yards.
Yeah. Defense, I would go with the peanut punch with the Jair Brown, Fred Warner fumble, and then on the offensive side, the Jauan Jennings touchdown.
Yeah, well,
And I went nuts on the booth. I was fist bumping, high fiving Tim, flexing. I went nuts. I love this thing.
you'd have to say that the radio booth is probably a ton more fun than the press box, right?
Yes.
Press box, it's a library. We're working.
Yeah,
It's gotta
you
be
can
quiet.
cheer. I mean, cheer meaning you can fist bump, you can high five, you can be emotional. It's allowed, right? You always want to be professional, and you always want to keep it. On the professional side of the spectrum. But if any area of our profession, Briana, allows you to be a bit more of a quote unquote fan, is doing the radio or television broadcast for your team. You're never going to you're never going to sell it short or just be a fan. No one likes a fan with a headset. That's not the case.
I hear you.
But if you want to, if you can show emotion, let's go to a different sport. Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow with the Giants, right, on the TV side. They can show different emotion than a guy who calls the game nationally for Fox or ESPN, right? Because you are that team's broadcast team. Same with us on the radio side. So, it's different. Right?
Yeah.
Unless you're Dante Whitner, who he doesn't care. He does whatever he wants.
It goes all out the door.
It goes all out.
Yeah, because as a true Niner fan at heart, I think I'd rather be in that radio booth, giving you guys, dapping you up, being excited when everything good happens, because in the press box, you just kind of have to go,
Yes, you got to be quiet. Yes. Yeah, thank you.
That was great. That was great.
Good job. Yeah.
Now, back to Jair Brown. Kyle Shanahan called him out in his Monday call right after the game, called his position that big nickel position.
Yep.
How do you think he performed in that big nickel position, having to cover the run game, but then be versatile in coverage?
It was really good. I mean, that's a great question again, because we saw the interchangeable pieces and how Robert Saleh is calling the game different. It's not Robert's first time here. The nickel was Mykel Williams, and that was it, right? You had your two safeties, Jimmy Ward being one of them, and then you had K1B, your nickel. For every single nickel down, it was K1. It was a shark. That's it, right? And you had the shark blitz with K1, and that was not going anywhere. Now you're seeing variations because Upton Stout's not the biggest guy. Jair can do both, right? He can do play strong safety, or he can come down the field and be that nickel. I think it's not just what he did. It's when Robert Saleh called for him to be out there, right? If he thinks it's a run situation, I'm going to put Jair there because look at what he can do. If it's a pass situation, maybe Marquise Eagle and Upton Stout gave me more coverage on the back end, and I would rather that configuration. I think he had a very good game because he was deployed appropriately.
Yeah. Now we're 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
The Niners are 2-0. It feels
Yes.
great. But what's something you're still looking to see out of the Niners this year?
Health.
Yeah.
Health. We haven't seen this team at full force. And until we don't get a glimpse, a true, absolutely clear picture, and we know it's the NFL, Briana, and we know everyone gets hurt. There's no excuses. It's like an epidemic of injuries, like quarterback injuries.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's down. Jayden Daniels is hurt. Jalen Hurts also got hurt. There's so many, they're dropping like flies. So I hope and pray we get to see the healthiest iteration of the Niners and not suspended with, and that's not an injury, but Demarcus Robinson being available to go. That's what I think we need to see is health. I want to see Brock under center. No, I mean, I love Mac Jones, but I think we all want to see Brock at QB1. I want to see Kittle back out there with Brandon Ayuk and Ricky and Jawan Jennings and Kyle Juszczyk and see them all out there. That's it, really.
Yeah.
And I think, let me ask you a question. How did you feel seeing Eddie Pinheiro go out there to kick some field goals? Because I was nervous until he made the first one, not because I don't trust him, but because we have so much PTSD from, sadly, what happened with Jake Moody and not working out. How did you feel?
Well, I remember when Eddie came in last week on Wednesday, and I was just excited to chop it up with him in the locker room because he's a fellow Nicoya. He's also from Nicaragua, or he has roots in Nicaragua, and he has family in Miami. I have family in Miami, and I was like, I think we have connections.
Yeah, he's from Miami.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was cool to meet him and understand, what his vibe is like and the energy he brings to the locker room and the energy he's going to bring to our special teams unit. I also talked to our punter, Thomas Morstead, before the game, and what it's like, connecting and making sure you're on a chemistry with your new special teams unit just days before you go into the battlefield.
Yeah.
And making sure you're on the right cadence. So it was really interesting to dive into, what was going on during that week. But when he stepped up and unfortunately missed the first kick, the point after, it was a little tough. We were
here we go again.
I won't go down the train of here we go again, because you don't want to get into that mind space. But you clench your fist and you go, you know what? Let's see a field goal. Let's see a field goal.
Yeah.
And so when he was able to nail it,
It was nails.
it was just you get that one out of the way, and then you finish the game with a clean slate, after that moment. And so it felt good. I think this is a good moment for us.
And you know what? I had two great conversations with Eddie in New Orleans. One just to get to know him, and his dad. I didn't know his dad was a former professional soccer player for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers in the USL back in the day. So his dream was to become a soccer player. For Eddie Jr., his dad was Eddie Pinheiro Sr. His dream was to become a professional soccer player, which is rare for a Cuban. I mean, Cuba is baseball and boxing and track and field, but no soccer really. I mean, so that was interesting. Mom from Nicaragua as well. Interesting too. But it was more on the mental side, Briana, because
How you approach the game.
not just that, this guy is looking for a home. I think we forget as fans or even media members, these guys, especially kickers, tend to live out of a suitcase, right? He was an undrafted player with the Raiders when they were in Oakland. Then he goes for a couple of years to Chicago. Then he goes to New York. Then he goes to Carolina. And when he thought he was set, he told me as much. I thought it was set. I mean, he did not miss a kick at home for 2 years. You don't just release a kicker who is nails, who is perfect at home just because. And it was just a thing of age and financials for the Panthers. So he's got the fourth highest field goal percentage in NFL history, Briana. It's Justin Tucker, Harrison Butker, and Chris Boswell, and then him. So he just turned 30. The Niners have a history of, if you're a good kicker, doesn't matter how old you are, enter Robbie Gould. So I told him, listen, this might be your home. I mean, you might have found the perfect situation for a team who just gambled or bet on a rookie. Sadly, did not pan out with Jake Moody. All the best for him. He's a great guy. I wish him the best. Didn't work. So if you make kicks, you can be here for 5, 6, 7. I mean, he's 30. He can kick until he's 38, 39. You can be here for a good decade, maybe if you just stay healthy. So I wish that's the case, because I know how tough it is for you to just pack your bags, unpack. And I always just wish fans would be more cognizant of what it means to be a professional athlete. Like he was telling me, how much clothes do I pack? Like if the team wants me, how do I get my clothes? His clothes was in Miami. If I pack too lightly, then I don't have enough clothes. But if I pack too much, then it's an inconvenience. So those kind of details maybe sometimes evade the fan who is just focused on results on the field, which I understand. But I wish we just would pause a bit more and also see them as people and the things they go through that affects their performance on the field.
Absolutely. Give them some grace. Well, I really hope Eddie feels at home in the Bay.
Oh, he does.
Some awesome
He loves
stuff.
it here.
Yeah, amazing. Well, now it's our second divisional game against the Cardinals this week. What are you most excited to watch in this matchup?
The faithful. Out of the game.
Finally
it's
at
being home. Yes, being
Finally
home.
at home.
Finally at home. Hopefully it will be the first of all the home games that lead to the ultimate home game.
I hear you.
Come February 8th.
I hear you.
We'll just leave it at that. I don't want to jinx it. I want to see, first of all, health. Let's see how the week progresses. Let's see if Brock can play or not. Report at the time of this podcast, we don't know. I think I'm pretty safe in saying this, that I think the faithful and that locker room is pretty comfortable with Mac Jones out there if Brock can't make the start on Sunday. So that's what I want to see first, is health. I want to see on the offensive side, the run game, to me, needs to get going a bit more. And I have seen improvements from
Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson. Sorry, Brian Robinson Jr. From game 1 to game 2, we saw the improvements on Brian Robinson Jr. Seeing it's not easy when it's a different scheme, different setup, and when it's so time-based and so specific on the run game, you got to see it and attack it aggressively. And the more he gets out there, the better he looks. At least for me, and Tim and I were talking about this. So I do want to see more of the run game going. Hopefully, Kyle Juszczyk does clear concussion protocol, and that will be a big add for the offense. And honestly, just keep playing complementary football. The way the team won on Sunday is, I think, the way this team will win until everyone's back on offense, or you have at least your full array of weapons back on offense. You have to be, I think, defensively driven, no mistakes on offense or limit the mistakes, no extra possessions for the opposition, no fumbles, no interceptions. When you get to the red zone, you score. I mean, that was a big problem last season. And think about this. We haven't seen a Christian McCaffrey rushing touchdown this season yet.
Which is crazy to think about.
We haven't.
His production over these past couple of games. Like 100-plus scrimmage yards in each one and still no rushing touchdown.
No rushing touchdown. So
I mean, still more to see.
And I want to see that. I want to see that because that will then open up the passing game. But seeing Kyle find ways to utilize Chris's array of weapons is positive to see. 50-plus, 30-plus passing, 50-plus rushing touchdown, 30-plus catching touchdowns or receiving touchdowns now for Christian is an amazing mark to get. Marshall Faulk, Lenny Moore, and now Christian in a very special and elite club of 3. So I would say that. I would want to see the run game be more dominant, be more efficient, and then just keep growing on the defensive side. The rookies have been amazing, and I want to see Eddie Pinheiro make his first field goal at home.
I love to hear it. A lot to look for this week heading into Sunday. But Carlos, thank you so much for joining me on the Saloon. We'll see you this Sunday.
Thank you. See you on Sunday.
Now we're going to rewind the tape a little bit as I sat down with 49ers punter Thomas Morstead before the Week 2 matchup. Now this game was really special for Thomas as he was an iconic punter for the Saints for over 10 years. So this Saints game was a bit of a homecoming for him. Now take a look as he tells us what his time was like with the Saints and what it's like now wearing the red and gold. What's up, faithful? This is your 49ers team reporter, Briana Jeannel, and I'm sitting with Thomas Morstead before the 49ers versus Saints matchup in Week 2. Thomas, thanks for joining me.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Now, we are going back to New Orleans, a place where you spent the first 12 years of your career. What's it like for you to go back, but at this time wearing 49ers red and gold?
I don't know. I haven't been back. It's been 5 years. And I'm sure it'll be emotional for me. My last game was walking off the field in the playoffs in spring of 2021 and or winter of 2021, and it was COVID year, so like the dome was like, I don't know, 20% full or something. It was just a strange year, a strange sort of way to end an awesome stint there, and it'll be emotional for sure for me.
Yeah, I could only imagine. You've been in the league for 17 years across multiple teams. But again, you started your journey with the Saints in 2009. When you look back at that rookie year and even that Super Bowl run, what stands out to you most?
Probably just the weekly routine. We just won every week. We started off 13-0. We did the same thing every week. After we won, we went to Lucy's Retired Surfers Bar and Grill and partied with the city every weekend after the game. And it was just magic, I guess is the best way to describe it. I didn't do a lot of winning in college. And to be a part of that was just surreal. And I can vividly remember so many different times throughout that season, whether it be games or out on the town, just partying with the city. It was just so much fun. And, I was at a point in my life where I wasn't married or having kids and just in a different time of life. And, it was just fun to go out on Friday nights and socialize a little bit. And, the whole season was just a blast. And, I don't know, just very grateful to be a part of the city's history and to have had a chance to win a Super Bowl and, have a big impact on that was, it's just been a blessing.
Yeah, fans in New Orleans, they'll never forget the onside kick in Super Bowl 44. When you think back to that moment, how special is it to be forever tied to one of the gutsiest plays in Super Bowl history?
It's really cool. I think the thing that's been great for me personally has been, that's like a really risky gamble type of play. And I was a rookie, and for Coach Payton to call on me and have the trust in me to execute that in a big moment, when everything was on the line, I've carried that throughout my career. So much of kicking and punting is between the ears, and, whether it's your swing or you're dealing with a little tweak here or there, you don't always feel your best on game day. And being able to draw back on memories of when you've been asked to do something and coming through for your team, those are things that are invaluable throughout your career, to almost unrationally give yourself confidence in moments where maybe you're not as confident. And that's the biggest gift that's been for me, is to be able to draw back on that and remind yourself that in the biggest pressure moments, you've come through as a player, and that gives you real confidence that you're going to do it again, no matter what's being asked of you. So I would say that's probably been the number one blessing for me as a player. And then as a human being, just being a part of a group of men that did something special together. I've already been a part of a 10-year reunion. A 20 will be coming up somewhat soon. Time flies as you get older. And to be a part of that group of guys, and no matter what directions people's lives go, when you all get back together, it's kind of like getting back together with college buddies. You just pick up where you left off, and you're right back in that sort of time of your life. So it's a special thing for sure.
Yeah, that's super sweet. And like you said, confidence is everything. But now you've joined a 49ers team with big expectations. What drew you to San Francisco at this stage in your career?
Honestly, it's the people. Brant Boyer's here, and he's been wonderful for me in the later stages of my career. Having a coach that's played the game at the highest level, that you respect, that believes in me in such a high way, at a high level. It's I wish everybody had somebody that believed in them like he believes in me. And at the end of the day, making money's great. It's it's your job, but day to day, being around people that you want to be around, people that you care about, that you want to work with, that's invaluable, because that's what your life's made up of. Those are your days. And getting to work with him every day, and his ability to compartmentalize when he's your coach, your boss, your friend, is unique. And I just love working for him. I love being in the battle and game day, and shit hits the fan, if so to speak, and just the bullets are flying, and being able to be in those situations with him, he's awesome. So I can't say enough about just the relationship I have with him, and being a part of a team with him. It's all about the people you're working with, and getting to work with John Weeks, who I've always had so much respect for. Can't believe the Texans let him out the door. Getting to work with a snapper like him, who's just seen it and done it all as well. It's cool. It's cool to have a group of guys like that.
Yeah. The people are everything, especially in the NFL. I'm sure you see these guys like more than you see your family when you're working in a week schedule, the practice, the travel, the game days. But you recently moved your wife and kids to the Bay Area. We saw on social media 8 people total. Have you settled in yet? Do you have any favorite spots near Levi Stadium so far?
No, we're not living near Levi Stadium. We're kind of south in a town called Los Gatos, and it's tough to beat. I mean, I think I saw my first cloud yesterday after being here for 7 or 8 weeks. The sun's always shining. Even when it's hot here, it's not hot. Keep telling people here, it's just unbelievable weather. The town we're living in is awesome. There's great restaurants everywhere. You can walk everywhere. Yeah, it's tough to beat. So really enjoying our time so far. My wife, Lauren, is enjoying being out here, and if we can't make the living situation exciting for her and the kids, it's really not worth doing. They give up a lot to kind of uproot their life every year for dad to keep playing football. So, it's not exactly saving a bunch of money to keep playing, but it's all about experiences at this point and having the chance to be a part of a really, awesome organization that does things the right way, a team that expects to win week in and week out. You can't ask for anything more. So we're all excited to be here for sure.
Yeah, well, what's the Bay Area experience like for your family? And have you connected with Jake Tonjes, a famous Los Gatos native?
Yeah, the family's gone and done quite a few things already. They've gone out and seen some of the redwoods. They went out and did a day in San Francisco, saw the Golden Gate Bridge, and I think it's Fisherman's Wharf. I think at some point here soon they may go out and see if they can see a baseball game I've heard the Giants Stadium is a pretty cool game day atmosphere. I'd love to go see a San Jose Sharks ice hockey game while we're out here. And we've already been out to the beach, Santa Cruz, and I think it was Capitoli Beach.
Yeah, Capitola.
Capitola Beach. And that's just a quick drive through the mountains there. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure we'll do a ton more while we're out here. I say I'm not always involved in all that with the schedule during the season, but definitely going to take advantage while we're out here and kind of see what the area has to offer.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sounds like you guys have already done the Bay Area experience, which is super cool to hear. Now, this week, the team signed kicker Eddie Pinheiro. As a specialist, how do you and John Weeks go about quickly building chemistry with a new kicker?
Look, our job is to be in service of Eddie and to, figure out what he needs to be successful. What does he want the final picture to look like as far as snap hold, learning his timing, and just trying to get him to understand that we're here for him. And, he's not new to this game. He's been in new situations plenty of times. So, and I know Eddie, never played with him on the same team, but I know Eddie and I know people that have played with Eddie, and he's fit right in so far, and, excited to be working with him.
Yeah, awesome. Now, final couple questions here. The Superdome crowd is famously loud. Coach Shanahan even said the 2019 game there was the loudest he's ever been in. What should the faithful expect in New Orleans? And then on the football side, how does the team prepare for conditions like that?
Yeah, look, I think, I remember that 2019 game. I remember Kittle's play up the sideline. I've been a part of so many games that were louder than that, playoff games. There's no place like it. When that team's rocking and the fans are behind them, it's the loudest place to play. And, the fact that you're in a true dome, that the Superdome kind of is not like a wide, large space. The stands kind of stack on top of each other. It gets so loud in there, and it's challenging. It's challenging for sure. So, I think you just got to take it one play at a time, like you should do anyways, and you just got to be on your details, and you just got to be very methodical, I think, and you got to have a plan and stick to it.
Yeah, well, speaking of that plan, heading into this week 2 contest, what's the mindset for this special teams group in a matchup like this where field position will be critical?
Look, I think we got our butts kicked last week on special teams collectively, as a group. There were some good things that we did, but Seattle certainly had the advantage in special teams last week, and we need to be better. So I think it's always important, but specifically on the road, special teams makes a big difference. So we need to be on our details. Every play matters. A lot of times it could be a fair catch and you're like, oh, it didn't matter there. Well, if you hadn't hit a good punt or you didn't this guy didn't win his rep here. It could have been a huge play. You never know what's play's going to be the difference maker in a game, but you have to pretend like each one of them is that play. Excuse me, and you just can't take anything for granted. And I think the sort of energy that we had last week about being a desperate team and playing desperately, I think we need to have that on every play on special teams. You don't get 3 downs to get a first down on special teams. It's a one-play kind of winner take all. And we need to go out and be an advantage for our team collectively.
Well, Thomas, we're super excited to see you back in the Superdome, this time in 49ers red and gold. So thank you for joining me today.
All right. Thanks for having me, Briana.
It was definitely a 49ers party in New Orleans last weekend. The faithful absolutely took over the city and the Caesars Superdome. Here's a look at what the 49ers invasion was like the day before the game. Plus, we take you to the sideline to hear exclusive sounds from that Week 2 matchup against the Saints. Right after that, I find defensive Mykel Williams for our post-game interview presented by Lexus. A big weekend in New Orleans as 49ers fans descended upon the Crescent City in droves. I'm Briana, Jeannel in Louisiana as the 49ers invasion event in New Orleans on Saturday served as one of the key opportunities for the faithful to gather ahead of the game. Fans out in full force in New Orleans, a place unique in its cross-cultural aspects. As the birthplace of jazz, to this day, many venues across the city offer a wide range of music on a nightly basis, with 49ers fans in town taking in the culture. Next up, we stay on the Gulf Coast for our next 49ers invasion ahead of the 49ers game in Houston for Week 8.
Fly around, have fun while doing something. Celebrate one of them. All right, it's all because of us. Now, believe it. Slide us on 2, 1, 2. Slide out. Come on here, Matty. We finna turn him up. Up. Hey, road dogs. Road dogs. Just like Mac Jones said, we come in your trap, we take over your trap. Yeah. It ain't not just about winning. It's about dominating for 60 minutes. Everybody got a one-on-one today. Dominate your one-on-one. And I promise you, we're going to get exactly what we want. Let's go get to these boys. Let's go. Down there, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey! Right down. Ooh. Right down. Ooh. Right down. Ooh. Right down. Right down. Right down. Let's go. Let's go. I need this boy. I need this boy. Everything that moves your head. Come on. Everything. Come on. Come on. Come on. Best in the world on 3. 1, 2, 3. Best in the world.
Look good. Look good, man.
Get out. Get out.
It's only going to get better. Let's go back. Come on, Alfred. Let's go stand up. Let's go, man.
Have a blessing, big homie. Yeah. Have a blessing, baby. Yeah. Tails, baby. Good luck, boys.
Rattler to throw on the sideline, deflected it incomplete. Jair Brown got up and batted that ball away.
Hey, hell of a job getting into drive right down there too, big dog. Great job. Hey, good coverage, tight Steve coverage, big dog. Hey, great job on the Super Bus. Hey, good.
On 3rd and 14, Jones in a clean pocket this time. Pearsall comes back to get it. It'll be a first down to the 44. Jones will step into the pocket, looks to his left, there's Granderson, he'll run to his right. Jones weaving, nice move, kind of sidled his man to pick up 9, or get down all the way down to the 28 is where they'll spot him. He gets 12. Play action, Jones to the left, caught, Farrell, rumbling towards the goal line. Luke Farrell with his first NFL touchdown.
Hey, great play fake. Great play fake. You got the end. That fake was cold.
3rd and 18. 4-man pressure gets to the quarterback. Rattler throws. Miller with the catch, and he's blasted by D. Winters.
Hey, they can't fake. Good job.
Hell of a job, man. Hell of a job. Hey,
Hit you,
good
DB.
job.
DB knuckles.
Oh, listen.
Because if we execute, it's going down.
Rattler, pressure on first down, in some trouble, down he goes! Upton Stout with his first NFL sack.
What? First NFL sack? Oh, yeah. That ain't too bad.
Hey, great job on the win.
Good dog. I promise you, I'm so close on the punch out, bro. It's just, I need more of an opt for him staying up.
2nd and 4. Rattler to Kamara. Look at that catch. He caught it on his shoulder pad, and then the ball comes out.
No knee on the ground, Shane. Look.
Watch your share.
Nah, that's out. That's out.
That's out.
That's a fumble.
I wanted to have the ball.
Nah, I feel you. I'm just saying, we looking at the video. That's a fumble, twin. No knee, no.
I wanted to have the ball, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Just great hustle by Fred Warner too. You know, never giving up on a play, and then coming in and being aware to be able to take a punch and knock that ball out.
Let's go! This is us!
They find Jennings running free. Jennings gonna take it in for a San Francisco touchdown.
Yeah, boy! Crib. Come on, in it. In it. Come on, man. Good job, man. Do it. Come on, D. One more. Finish, man. Finish this.
Rattler looking, pocket collapsing, down he goes. Nick Bosa.
Boy, let's go. Let's go, Nick.
Power escape inside.
2 weeks in a row. Get us a third down. Big ass.
A first down, and the Saints' hopes continue. 4th and 2, pressure coming, ball is out. Turnover on downs, and the San Francisco 49ers are going to get a road win in New Orleans.
Let's go. Hey, what we say? It was up to us. It was up to us. Good job. It's up to us. Hey, boy. Hey, boy. Dub City! Dub City! Hey, Huff. On the board, baby. Dub. That's another one down, baby. What I say. I told you many more to come. It's gonna keep rolling. It's gonna keep rolling. Yeah. 2 dubs. I'ma take it.
That's a win, man. 2-0, you gotta keep stacking days.
Dub City! Dubs! Boy, this one's special. Dub City! In your city! Faithful! We finally coming home 2-0. Let's go!
I'm with your first round pick, defensive lineman Mykel Williams, right after the 49ers Week 2 victory over the field to come into a rowdy environment like New Orleans and walk away 2-0.
Man, it feels great. This is the second week in a row we was able to do that. Come in and get a win. It's always feel better when you can do it in enemy territory. So it feels great to come in and play as a team, collective, and get this dub.
Tell me about your mindset coming into this contest, knowing you're going to have a big role on the defense.
Yep, I just want to be better than the week before, and that's my goal every week. Come in better than what I played last week and learn and grow from the experience and get better every week, week in, week out.
Big tackles for loss in this game. Tell me about how you executed against the Saints offense today.
Yeah, I just ran what the coach called me. My coach put us in the right position to make plays, and I just was there to make the play.
We are only 2 weeks in, but we're 2-0. How do you feel about the tone that this team is setting entering the 2025 season?
I feel great about the tone. I feel like it's a team that we can come in, we can fight when our back against the wall. So I feel great, and I'm happy that we were able to come in and do our thing.
Congrats, Mykel. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, Faithful, that will do it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us on The Saloon, presented by Cisco. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast on SiriusXM, YouTube, and your favorite podcast platform. Go Niners, and I'll see you next week.